If you're watching this video, you're probably an entrepreneur or you're ambitious in general to become financially free somewhere before you're 50 or 60, so basically almost dead. You're probably watching this video because you were curious why the fuck I would not hope this to go public. And the reason why I asked you if you were an entrepreneur or an ambitious guy is because that's the only way that you could relate to what I'm going to talk about in this video. Because I want to talk to you about something that happened last week. I'm here with a bunch of entrepreneurs. I think two of them are at the MMA gym and the other two are upstairs doing whatever. One of them, one of my better friends of the group, like we both came in as trainees, so that's why we're kind of good friends right now. He came up to me last week and he basically laid out all my deepest problems on the table. It would probably sound kind of weird. He had a girl over. Always when he has a girl over, he sends her home after. We kind of discuss how was it, was she mid or was she good, or how do you feel? And then we always end up talking about business, just as friends. And it was last week that he had a super hot chick over, so I was curious if he would have done anything with her on the first date, because it's always curious with these girls if they do that or not. We ended up talking about business and he kind of started just roasting me because we agreed with each other that whenever one of the two, or anyone in this house, but we are very good friends together, if any of us starts having any problems or start acting weird or have anything that is bad energy on the group, we have to tell each other and we have to roast each other to get better ASAP, because that's the only fucking reason why we're doing this, to get better. Otherwise I would have not been making these stupid videos every single day if I didn't want to get better, because they're not really getting any views anyway, so I'm just doing it to get better. And what he was telling me, my ego was getting the best of me and I was kind of acting poor around spending money. Whenever we had to pay for anything, I would always verbally say, oh, that's kind of expensive, or should we do it because it's a lot of money, or I don't really want to do that because it's expensive. I was always the one that was talking about money, because unconsciously I told myself that I was poor and needed more money. And even though this is factually true, I should act differently. What you make verbally, so what you talk about with your mouth, what you say during the day, is also what you print into your brain that you're going to start to believe. So if I'm going to act weird around money, oh, I don't want to do that, or should we do that, or I hope someone else pays for it because it's quite expensive. If you talk about it all the time, then you're going to believe that money is scarce as well, because you're talking about it all the time. So you print it into your own mind. If you're just talking about it like it's super abundant, even though you might not be super rich at the moment, because I am not that rich at the moment, we're living a very expensive life in this penthouse here in Medellin, so I spend most of my money. But if you say that, if you talk to yourself like that, I am poor, we don't have much money, I don't want to spend much money because it's expensive, then you print that into your belief system. And the reason why I made this video is because of this small thing. So this happened yesterday, one small thing that I've learned, blah blah, I solved it. I went into a therapy session with ChatGPT like I always do to solve it for myself, because that just works best for me. I want to be aware of the symptoms that I'm showing of the problem, and I will figure it out myself by just changing the input, because then you will also change the output. And it's just one of the things that I had to change in my whole life, or my whole entrepreneurship career, even though it sounds fucking cringe, but it is true. It's just one of the things that I had to change to become a better entrepreneur. And I just got a message from the guy that we work for. He stays in that room, the master room, because he pays for all of this. Just sent me a message that all the videos are doing fucking great. He's super happy with my work. He wants to find a way to pay me more, and we're just gonna scale to more clients. So obviously I'm super happy with that, and hopefully we're gonna make more money. The reason why I'm saying that is because clearly I've went through enough pain. I've tried enough times, failed enough times to get to the point to deserve that he is saying something like that. I started this whole entrepreneurship thing as a complete newbie, as a complete rookie. I didn't know anything about money, about growing wealth, about passive income, about pain, about sacrifice, anything, literally nothing. I grew up with parents that worked 9 to 5 for their whole life, so it was very normal to me that shit, that money was scarce, and that just working hard for money was the only way, but you would never get rich because money is bad. That's basically what my parents told me. I had to break all those limiting beliefs, and I probably switched personalities and grew 4 or 5 times, completely new person every single time after learning new things, new belief systems and new information, basically, because I had to switch all of that to get into the right belief system, to get closer to financially free, which I'm not right now, but hopefully getting closer soon. That's why I sincerely didn't hope that this video ever would be public, and hopefully no one of my family would ever see this. Your ego gets hit a bunch of times. If you need to get better, that means that you were wrong in the first place, so that someone has to correct you, someone has to give you feedback. You have to be humble and learn and get better after that feedback, and that has to happen a lot of times to get better. So basically your ego is gonna get hit a lot of times if you want to get better, which is not really a nice feeling. You need to go through a lot of pain, a lot of humbling, and if you're not willing to do that, then that's also why rewards are so outsized, because most people are not willing to do this. If you're willing to get humbled most of the time, and you are actually willing to learn, get better, get back to learning, get back to getting into more pain, basically to learn more, then you are ready to achieve anything that you want to achieve. If you're willing to sacrifice the things that are needed, like the price that you have to pay, the sacrifice that you have to pay to get to that destination, you will probably eventually reach that, or at least get very, very close. That's that's the only reason why I made this video and why the title is like this. For the rest, that's mainly the topic that I want to discuss. I'm not gonna sell you anything because for RF and other works, couldn't be bothered to also service you. So just watch any of the other videos if you feel like it. And otherwise, I don't really care. See you in the next video. Peace.